You can feel it in the air. We made it. It is officially draft week. On Thursday night, the New York Giants and the New York Jets will make decisions that will shape a lifetime. We got a lot to get to over the next couple of days. The New York Mets are red hot. We will have a show endorsement of a new head coach for the New York Rangers since they're looking for one. So we got a lot to get to. But to the Yankee fans out there, I think, Tiki, there were a few reasons over the weekend to be pissed off and a few reasons to not be pissed off.
Yes.
So let's go through them. Let's start off with pissed off number one. And I think we'll all be in agreement on this one. Aaron Judge hit a home run yesterday. It went over the fence. Mm-hmm. It went over the trees. It went over the very, very, very tiny foul pole that they have in left field because they play in a minor league stadium. But it was a home run. And then when they reviewed it, it still was a home run, except the idiots got it wrong.
Of course.
And ultimately, it didn't matter. But it could matter if Aaron Judge is chasing Barry Bonds' home run record.
That one only matters if Aaron Judge gets to 68 home runs and 4 games left in the season. We're like, he's going to get there. He's going to get to Barry Bonds.
Yes.
And then we're going to say, yeah, but he's going to fall short by one. And it's going to come back to that minor league stadium lack of a home run.
Now, I don't know if
I don't know if you're pissed off about that.
I think you're pissed.
kind of like annoyed by that.
I mean, because it didn't impact the game. Like, if you're a fantasy owner, I'm sure it pisses you off.
Thank you, Max Reed.
If you bet it on FanDuel, I'm sure it pissed you off. And I don't know if this will make anybody feel better, but no one ever talks about this. Mark McGwire in 1998 hit a home run that was ruled a ground rule double because they claimed a fan reached over. That was supposed to be a 66th home run. It was at a county stadium in Milwaukee. They took it off the board. McGwire bitched about it after the fact. And I hate Mark McGwire. I don't want to hate. Hate's a strong word. Let me take that back. I don't love Mark McGwire, but even I know he got hosed out of a home run. But no one sits here 27 years later and says he really hit 71, even though he hit 70. So unfortunately, history will ignore this. But I don't want umpires and review to get things wrong. So I think that's a fair reason to be pissed off. Aaron Boone was pissed off. He got thrown out of the game. Mm-hmm. I think that's a legitimate thing to be pissed off about. That's number one.
I agree. But it's really more just annoyed than pissed off.
Fair enough. Number two, not pissed off. I got to defend Devin Williams. I know that a week and a half ago, I said, hey, I got some concerns this could kind of spring roll into something worse. His blown, and it wasn't even a blown save on Saturday because it was a 4-run lead. It wasn't even really a blown save. It was just a blown game. I think Devin Williams was far better than history will tell you.
Come on, Evan.
Because there was a lot of soft contact. And then after he gave up the game-tying hit, I got to give him some credit for this. I have to give him a little bit of credit. After he gives up the game-tying hit to Lau, he gets a double play against Junior Caminero. He could have blown the game completely. Mm-hmm. He didn't. He stepped up. He got a huge double play. I thought that was encouraging that at least in his implosion, it wasn't a full implosion. So while I've been critical of Devin Williams and start with the Yankees, I got to exonerate him just like a tiny little bit for what was unlucky on Saturday.
The only reason, because I agreed, you're not mad and you're not ready to start booing Devin Williams. And it wasn't a blown save. They still had an opportunity in the 10th, obviously. But the reason it feels so, I don't know, off is because Luke Weaver is out of control good right now. And there's a lot of Yankee fans that said, "Why Devin Williams is fantastic, but why do we need him again? What exactly was this for?" Especially after the Met fan is going, did we break Pete Alonso? Did Pete Alonso break Devin Williams?
Well, it's a fair question.
I've now heard 3 times in the Mex text chat. I'm tired of hearing it.
It's a fair question.
It is a fair question. I think more Yankee fans are annoyed that Luke Weaver is not getting some of these opportunities, and Devin Williams just doesn't look confident each outing he goes out there.
Luke Weaver is their best reliever, and sometimes the biggest out in the game is in the 7th inning. And we've seen Aaron Boone do that. Luke Weaver's come in and gotten more than 3 outs on numerous occasions.
True.
So I agree with that statement, but you need more than one lockdown reliever. So they've got to figure out a way to get Devin Williams right. And I know that comment is kind of a passive-aggressive joke by Met fans, but it is fascinating. Let's just take a step back. Let's be IBOs for a second. How the fortunes of 2 baseball players have greatly changed on one moment. Mm-hmm. Because Pete Alonso was about to be run out of town by Met fans. the view towards Alonso, especially after the miscue he had a few innings earlier where he dropped the pop-up, the lack of big hits all season long. Like
Talking about last year.
I'm talking about last year, but Pete Alonso was about to be run out of town as a former Met. Devin Williams was having an electric season and was about to advance the Brewers into the NLDS. Obviously, Pete hits the home run, Mets win, Brewers lose. Okay, fine. Think about what's happened to both of those guys since.
I know it.
Pete Alonso's playing like an MVP, and Devin Williams has just not been the same guy. Doesn't mean he's always not going to be the same guy, but he hasn't been the same.
No, he hasn't. It's not like he's terrible. He's good. He just doesn't feel dominant. And if we're going to look to the Pete Alonso moment, I don't see the connection other than the coincidence of Pete Alonso having a great year right now and Devin Williams having a bad year. And I have to chalk that up to coincidence.
Maybe
now,
it is.
I don't believe in coincidence,
right?
But I have to chalk it up to coincidence.
Maybe for now it is. If we're sitting here 6 months from now and Devin Williams put together a horrible season and Pete Alonso won the MVP, it's a little bit of a different discussion. There's something else, though, that happened over the weekend that some Yankee fans are pissed about that they have no right to be pissed about. But there's one other thing they should be pissed about, and that's the fact in the 10th inning after Devin Williams gets the big double play, you got a chance on Saturday with first and third, nobody out, and no one does anything. But let's get to the thing that you guys need to pipe down about. The Max Fried blown no-hitter. Guys, we all watched the game. We all saw the game. Chandler Simpson is this young man the Tampa Bay Rays recently called up. He's one of the fastest guys in baseball. In fact, on Friday, off air, I didn't even waste your time on air. I made a comment about this guy to Tiki Barber.
That's right.
I said, you see who the Rays called up? This guy had 110 stolen bases in 103 games. And Tiki's like, that's not real. I said, no, it's real. This guy's really fast.
That's my kind of guy, too, because that's the only thing I could do.
All right. Chandler Simpson hits a ground ball towards first base. A tricky play, a ball that had a weird hop. And Paul Goldschmidt, who I love dearly, didn't make the clean play.
Yes.
Even if he makes the clean play, it is clear as day that Chandler Simpson is going to beat it out, and it's going to be a base hit.
Yes.
The problem
I agree with this, by the way.
Thank you. So let's just start right there.
So I'm not angry at all about this because, first of all, Goldschmidt, it was a tricky play, as you mentioned. But even if he had fielded it perfectly cleanly, there's no way he's getting that out.
No way.
He's not getting there.
Right.
And Max Fried is 5 feet behind him.
So there's
no chance that that's happening.
Now, let me tell you, I don't want to brag, but I score games a lot, right?
Yes.
Big scoring geek. So I'm all up in on the official scoring stuff.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you were actually scoring it, and you scored it a hit immediately.
No, I've got my own systems with that, which I'll get to. But you just phrased it as no chance they get him at first base. That means it's a hit.
Yes.
That means the disgrace that we witnessed yesterday was not the official score changing the decision. It was actually making you guys believe Max Fried had a legitimate no-hitter. And before you say a freaking word, because I am going to attack before you attack me, there is a big difference between an umpire getting a call wrong and an official scorer screwing something up that's obvious. There's a difference because an umpire is just paid to get the call right or wrong, and sometimes they get it wrong. An official scorer could change everything. They could change a guy's ERA. All of a sudden, one error makes a game you gave up 5 runs in to where none of them are earned. That play yesterday was a base hit. And it's not my fault that Sean Morash and his dad are sitting there by the pool thinking it's a no-hitter. It was a Fugazi no-hit bid because it was a hit.
I mean, first of all,
It was a hit.
it's April 21st. The pool's not open yet. That's number one.
You should have opened it. It was beautiful.
Number two, Evan, you cannot say definitively, if you watch the replay with the split screen, Max Fried immediately when he sees that ball chopped is not busting it and completely stops busting it to first base. If Paul Goldschmidt fields that cleanly, how do you know that Max Fried is not going to slow up?
No.
Because all we know is what we saw because it was already butchered. Tiki, I've gone back and rewatched this 40 times.
I know, but Max Fried is not winning that foot race.
But
I'm just telling you, he's not. Once, what's his name? The kid?
Chandler Simpson.
Once Chandler Simpson is halfway down, it's over. It's over.
I want to make this clear. I don't think it's obvious that Max Fried 100% beats him out, but I also don't think it's obvious.
Just because he did it earlier in the game doesn't mean he's doing it against Simpson.
I get it. but he literally slows up and doesn't even basically attempt to get there hustling. If that ball's fielded cleanly and Max Fried is on his giddy up and the mentality's changed, you can't tell me without a shadow of a doubt.
I can.
Definitely. No, you can't. You can't.
I can, because
you know
here's
what?
the difference.
You should never answer jury duty again.
Why?
Because that is not guilty beyond a doubt.
Here's the difference. And this is one of those days where
I lost that one, Sean.
I did too. It makes sense. I'll explain it off air.
Okay, perfect.
This is one of those days where I'm going to say into a microphone with a smile on my face, I am damn proud I'm a geek. I'm damn proud that I score every game. I'm damn proud that I take these errors and hits personal, because I do.
Heck yeah.
I'm a loser.
And in this case, Sean, you're fighting above your weight class.
No.
You
I'm
all
not.
are.
I'm not.
No, you all are.
I'm not.
Because
I'm not.
that's a hit.
No.
And the fact, if that guy threw a no-hit.
He beat him to the bag early in the game.
Sean, if Max Fried threw a no-hitter, and then that guy in Tampa never changed the call, and he never gave up the leadoff hit to Mangum to start the 8th inning, that would have been a disgraceful no-hitter.
You're out of your
Because it
mind.
wasn't a no-hitter.
You're
That
out of
was
your
a
mind.
hit. And by the way, I'll take it up a notch. Oswaldo Cabrera's first error, that should have been a hit too.
Stop it. The guy,
I don't know about that one,
Paul
but-
Goldschmidt's a Gold Glove first baseman. He's expected to make that play cleanly. And above all of that, Evan, you want to give me nerdy scoring stuff, all of this. It shouldn't take a whole damn inning to overturn it. It should take 3 seconds. If you want to file that as a hit immediately, and within 90 seconds you look at it more and go, you know what, it's an error. The fact that it took that long as the no-hitter's going away is an absolute disgrace.
I don't know the process behind turning errors into hits. I don't know what that process is like.
do.
I don't know where it goes. I don't know who's making the decision. But I wasn't bothered by it because I actually thought it was a hit.
Well, why don't you guys ask Uncle Evan? Say, hey, Uncle Evan.
Uncle Evan.
What's the process? Because you know why
What's the process?
Thank you, Tiki, for asking. Let me tell you something right now. This is where we're going to have common ground. Nothing pisses me off more than when these holier-than-thou official scores change a decision. You know why it pisses me off?
Go ahead.
Because I write things down in pen. And I don't like to use whiteout when it's not my fault. Okay? I didn't screw up. I didn't write something in the wrong box. You guys screwed up. So let me just state for the record that if I could change something in Major League Baseball, yeah, you're damn right, Geek Evan would change that. Whatever you decide is what you decide. Okay? I agree with you. Whatever that official score decides in the moment, no protesting, no let me think about it. It is what it is. So there's our common ground. But you know what the official rules are, Sean? Or do you not know? You just want to scream into a microphone like Michael K.
You know what?
Which one? And K should know better. Because I blame him, and I blame Susan, too.
Evan?
I blame the Yankee broadcast for this whole mess. And I'll explain why.
Evan?
And I love them. I do. I love Michael. I love all of them. But I'm going to call them out when they're wrong. Continue.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't, and I don't think it really matters. Because either way, it should be more timely and efficient than it was.
The official scorer can change a judgment call for up to 24 hours after a game ends or is suspended.
Absurd.
After the 24-hour window, a change requires an appeal to the MLB league president. A player or team can also request a review by the executive vice president of baseball operations, and that needs to be done within 72 hours of the game ending. Now, let me tell you a story, because this is another thing that pisses me off. Do you guys happen to remember, it was a long time ago, the Mets played the Rays in Tampa, very similar to this, and R.A. Dickey pitched a one-hitter.
No, but go ahead. Tell us.
R.A. Dickey pitched a one-hitter, and the one hit he gave up was a ground ball to David Wright early in the game. The Mets, and this really annoyed me, filed a protest after the game ended saying that should be an error. They wanted a retroactive no-hitter. That would have been the biggest bunch of horse crap I've ever seen.
And it got denied, obviously.
Of course it got that. Can you imagine, you guys playfully, because I assume it's playful, like to say Johan didn't pitch a no-hitter? That would have been the most fugazi no-hitter ever if they retroactively said...
On appeal.
On appeal.
Right.
And it was the Mets doing the appeal, and they were trying to get an error on the captain of the team. The whole thing drove me nuts. I agree, that's BS.
So shouldn't you feel this way about this? I mean, think about this.
I'll tell you why.
The official scorer, whatever you think, overly inserted himself into a spot where you can't definitively say it was a hit, and he took away a moment. Look, he took away a moment.
A fake moment.
It wasn't a...
Yeah, but it didn't last. That's the problem. This is why also I'm not upset about it.
Because he gave the hit after?
Yes.
It's so ironic. He gives up the hit after. He immediately finds out coming out of the dugout, by the way, it's not a no-hitter anymore. You're deflated. Your adrenaline's deflated. You give it up. The timing of that. Now, you want to tell me he gives up the hit and then we find out? Sure.
Here's why that way it goes isn't as bad. Because you need to have the pressure of a no-hitter. If you think you're pitching a one-hitter, you complete the one-hitter, and then after the fact, they're like, oh, by the way, it was a no-hitter. You never dealt with the pressure of pitching a no-hitter. So I'd rather, if there's ever going to be a change, it goes the way it went yesterday, where you think you're pitching a no-hitter, but the reality is it's really a one-hitter. Because then at least the pressure is still there.
Yeah.
You're taking away the pressure of a no-hitter if it goes the other way, which is a part of why that whole appeal with R.A. Dickey was disgraceful.
Right. So if you think you have a no-hitter, you mean there's more pressure for you? There's more intensity for you?
Yes.
There's less people talking to you or not at all because they won't talk to you when you have a no-hitter? I think you relax when you realize it's not a no-hitter, right?
That's my point.
Yeah. So
that's why you're not facing the pressures of pitching a
but is
no-hitter.
relaxing better or worse?
Oh, it's probably better. It probably makes your job a little bit easier because you're not thinking about the history that's on the line. But that's not the way it went. It went the other way. And I understand why you're disappointed, Sean. I do. I respect that. I understand why any Yankee fan who's spending their Sunday afternoon on Easter watching this game thinking there's a no-hitter is disappointed. I get being disappointed, but you're still wrong. And when we come back, I'll prove to you that the people you should be mad at is not the official score in Tampa. You should be mad at the Yankee broadcast. We'll get to your calls as well, 888-808-1019. But that's something you should not be pissed at. The other things, like Aaron Judge getting screwed out of a home run, absolutely. +1 Soto loves us, each and every one of us. We'll explain. 888-808-1019.